to UK elections and ethnic diaspora, our show talking about British election from the ethnic minority perspective.
हमें भारतीय स्टूडेंट्स के जो समस्याएं हैं और इलेक्शन के मद्देनजर आपने एक मुहिम भी चला रखी है हाँ so first tell us what you have done about this UK election issue.
Well, we recently started My Vote Matters campaign, and what this campaign does, we are bringing and spreading awareness among Indian students to let them know they are eligible to vote in UK elections. They should make best use of this power and make themselves heard, because there are so many issues Indian students has to go through when they come to UK and issue around visas and universities and fees and stuff. So our aim is to spread awareness and get Indian students to get voting in this general election.
So is पूरी मुहिम में how are you doing it and what response are you getting?
So the campaign, like Vikram said, is called My Vote Matters. We started it only about 2 weeks ago now. The response has been fantastic. The response has been to a level where all other international students are saying to us, can you guys also represent us, not only Indian students, because you're doing such fantastic work. What we've got in it is essentially we've got a manifesto which has got 6 particular asks around, the fact that international students should be valued by the whole of government, that there should be a post-study work visa, that, if a college is getting shut by the UKBA, the student doesn't have to pay for it. बहुत बड़ा यहाँ चल रहा है कि student को bogus student बुला देते हैं. And it's not a student's fault. If the college is shut, a college that the UKBA did its due diligence on, a college that the UKBA said was a highly trusted sponsor, and then the UKBA shuts it, why is the student being blamed for it? So that's another key manifesto ask, that there is no such thing as a bogus student, If your due diligence is right, if you are a highly trusted sponsor, then the student shouldn't have to pay for the college being shut. We're very happy that these colleges are being shut because they're doing the wrong thing, They're getting students and, there's no real education going on and all the associated asks. But not at the cost of a student's career, not at the cost of his or her financial resources and, great dreams and aspirations.
We must say that that Indians who have Indian passport as well can vote because they are part of the Commonwealth, and UK allows them to vote in the parliamentary elections. How many students do you have in NISU?
Well, we represent nearly 8,000 students at the moment. But if you look at international student community, we got nearly 60 to 70,000 international students from Indian background.
From Indian background, yes.
Studying in the UK. So we want to make sure we spread this message to them. Because what happens is sometimes student takes a back step saying, oh, elections, nothing to do with me. And that's why sometimes political party ignore student issues. So we're saying is, get together, vote, and make your voice heard. So that political parties start to take student organizations and students seriously.
So on that note, have the political parties taken your issue seriously? What have you seen in the manifesto that you want to point out?
That's a very, very good question. None of the main political parties have said anything explicitly about the post-study work visa, which is a key ask. So a couple of years ago, post-study work visa got taken away, which meant that 25% less Indian students are now coming into the UK. Economically for the UK, that is a big blow, Export markets wise, this is one of the biggest export markets in the UK, of which the Indian student community is the second biggest consumer. So economically, this is a big blow to the UK. So we as a UK organization representing Indian students take that point of view as well, that economically you should do the right thing for the country.
आप क्या कहेंगे विक्रम आपके लिए?
What I would like to say is, I think some of the parties are interested to help out international students, but because of parties like UKIP, they are quite scared at the moment to bring immigration issues on the table. So my aim would be, let's not worry about parties like UKIP. Think about what's good for international students, what's good for the British economy.
Any other issue that concerns you, which you have seen, which is outstanding or negative from where you come?
I think one is if I take the whole immigration aspect, the way immigrants are being seen in the UK because of this UKIP terror, that is a big issue. Because I mean, to the extent that a campaign for immigrants to show how they're beneficial is being launched in the country. I don't know if you've heard, but it's called I Am an Immigrant. That huge campaign has been launched to show the immense value that immigrants actually bring to the country. So the whole rhetoric around immigration is very negative. The fact that they're all being labelled as almost an unwanted negative thing. That's a key issue for me. The other key issue is the economic issue, and the fact that the EU referendum is a key issue. Whether or not we stay in the EU, that has both pros and cons. But where the various political parties stand on that is quite interesting.
Yeah. Okay. But if you look at other countries like Canada and even France and Germany, France is it?
France.
Yeah, started post-study work visa after Prime Minister Modi's visit. So even non-speaking countries are trying their best to attract Indian students.
So post-study visa would be the deal clincher, and also the respect that they deserve if any party would come forward and explicitly say that. So these undecided voters would probably go for that. So this is another chance for all the political parties to look at this entire issue. If you want to find out about which political party, their manifestos, and who is standing in your area, you could go to the Election Commission website and put your postcode in it, and it'll give you the entire list of parties and candidates. There are many and other parties who are standing in this election. Thank you very much.
It's time for a break now, but when we come back, we are going to focus on few more aspects of education and Election UK. So stay with Election UK and Ethnic Diaspora. Welcome again in the special program on election, UK election and ethnic diaspora. So first of all, I open the forum on this issue of education, education fee, education visa, which has been risen, which has been talked about a lot in all the manifestos.
My only concern will probably be the fees, because even though they say it's given people from poorer backgrounds opportunities to get into higher education, but then it's also given them a massive debt towards the end of their studies, so it doesn't really quite balance and make sense.
My issue is not exactly with tuition fees, it's more with educational maintenance allowance.
My issue will be about the student fees. I mean, the fact that they're raising it is like everybody not going to be allowed capable to afford it, and if people are not going to educate themselves, it will be more people from benefits. So I mean, people need education to make even grow the country and everything. So yeah.
Well, funding to FE is always being cut, which is not good. It's we've got higher education and school education, and FE generally gets overlooked by governments. Whereas actually it's a really important sector to help people who perhaps didn't get the right chances first time around. So I think a lot more money needs to be pumped into this sector.
Okay, and she happens to be the journalism teacher of all these students. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Sir.
Hi. Yeah, just following up with my colleagues there, I think the funding for the FE has been neglected and it's been decreasing compared to the schools. Now, most of our students actually end up going to universities. However, if the funding for FE is not there, then the future generation is going to be affected. So even though both parties, Labour, the Lib Dem and everything, they all have education as their manifesto, it is not really flowing to the people who needs it. It's all about theory, it's all about, words and not action.
Now, you see, what's really happening is that funding is being reduced for further education. It's about 24% of reduction in the funding, which means every single college is getting funds less by about 1.5 million.
So can you tell me, anyone, who do you find attractive from this point of view, both funding as well as student fee? Any party?
You got a promise from Labour, reduction in school fees, and having a free school is another way of actually disenfranchising the institution already. Why have a free school? You have institutions, have FEs, spend money in the schools available, bring them up to standard, not just creating another institution for the elite to manage, so you cannot turn education into some kind of business.
Rooting for the labor.
I wouldn't say I'm rooting, but I'm saying the policy for now, in terms of education, labor, school fees is lower.
Have you decided who you're voting?
I've already decided, yes, I'm not going to.
You're nervous.
In the last debate, as I said, the Conservative said that they're keeping the school, the fees to what it is at the moment. And the Labour Party is going to reduce it to 6,000, I think. But the Green Party is saying we're going to abolish it. So that's equal.
There you are. Go green. Go green.
Colleagues said the Green Party said they will abolish the school fees, the university fees.
Yes.
How are they going to make this happen? I think it's a bit of a, I think they've put that there so that they can actually entice people to perhaps vote for them.
My last question then to everybody, what is that one ideal demand that would, in terms of education or anything, that would have made you guys go for it?
If a party was going to reverse austerity and pump money into public services, which is an investment in the country and in our future, which I think will actually pay off economically in the end, then yeah, I would vote for that party.
This was our education special on UK election from the ethnic diaspora perspective. If you want to raise an issue, ask me a question or send us your feedback, please Twitter me at Lavina Tandon. I can even come and talk to you if you invite me. So please be connected on UK election and ethnic diaspora, the only show of its kind that is looking at election from the ethnic diaspora perspective. Thank you very much. Goodbye and God bless. And please do vote.
Do you know who was the first ethnic minority member of the British Parliament? The first ethnic minority member of the British Parliament was Dadabhai Naoroji. He won from Finsbury Central Liberal Party in 1892.